Welcome, everyone. My name is Duncan Soul. I'm a medical doctor and I live in Portland, Oregon. My practice is a holistic practice that supports people's healing utilizing osteopathy, homeopathy, and pathwork sessions. I was first introduced to the pathwork about 18 years ago and have really had a wonderful experience with it. Prior to that, I had a fairly intensive meditation practice for about 25 years, and the pathwork has added a missing piece that had been absent from my previous spiritual practice. I had been trying to achieve some spiritual growth by rising above or transcending my worldly concerns, my worldly difficulties and problems, to achieve some new state of consciousness, some higher state of consciousness. What I've learned from pathwork is the goal is not to achieve a new state of consciousness, but to fully accept our human nature with all of our imperfections and to connect to our own inner guidance. It's not about improving ourselves, being better in some way, but really being more our true, authentic self. The task is one of unification and integration of all of the parts that we are. I'm really passionate about the pathwork and am happy to be sharing some of my experiences with you. So, what exactly is the pathwork? Pathwork is a practical spiritual teaching that helps us connect to the finest in ourselves while accepting all of who we are. The pathwork addresses many issues that we encounter in our life, and it was based on 250 channeled lectures that were presented by a woman named Eva Pierrakos in New York City, starting in 1955 until her passing in 1979. So what I found that's really special about the pathwork is it covers the whole spectrum of personal and spiritual growth that starts with accepting ourselves as we are at this moment, just exactly as we are, and seeing the parts of us that cause us pain and difficulty in our life and how to transform those. And it continues on a full spectrum all the way to what does it really mean to live with the divine guidance that's within us and accessible at all times. We've all had certain special experiences in our life where the clock kind of stops, where we feel some expansion, some deep happiness and peace. In my life, that's happened. I'm a guitarist, and when I play music, at times I feel just completely one with the music and the other musicians who are there. I'm also a nature photographer, and there's times when I've been out in nature shooting photos and just the clock stops, time stands still, and I feel completely at one with the natural surroundings and the beauty that's there. You may have had similar experiences, having a deep discussion with a friend, seeing some beautiful artwork. There's lots of examples. But the point is, the common thread is that all of these experiences are a deeper connection with the depth of ourselves and with our environment. And pathwork gives us an opportunity to live more fully from that state. So we all long to feel like we're more fully inhabiting our bodies. We want to have better access to our strength and capacities. We want to feel more connected with the people in our lives. We may want to feel a deeper sense of purpose to our life. Pathwork addresses these issues and helps you realize these particular longings. Pathwork is ultimately completely practical. It starts where you are at this moment, and it deals with any difficulties or challenges you're facing in your life right now. This may be some trouble with relationship or some work issues or trouble expressing your creativity. There's so many different things, but there's no set practice other than to start where you are and be more fully aware of what's functioning in you in these difficult moments. Pathwork is not a religion and it's not a belief system. There's nothing that we need to believe in. Rather, it provides us some important tools so that we can access all of what is alive in us at a given moment. This includes accessing our own inner guidance that can help us move through challenging situations. And there's absolutely no need to let go of any religious beliefs or any spiritual practices that you already have that are serving you. We all have had challenging situations that occur during our childhood. And it's our response to these challenging situations that cause us at times to form conclusions or generalizations about situations that are actually a kind of misunderstanding. Pathwork calls these misunderstandings images. And when we form this conclusion in childhood, it really serves us. It serves our survival. But as these images continue to live in us, which they will do if we don't examine them, into our adult life, they actually limit our possible resources. They limit our ability to think creatively in challenging situations. In my own childhood, in my family of origin, negative emotions were never expressed outright. And so I came to the conclusion that these negative emotions must somehow be dangerous. And this obviously was a misunderstanding, but it's something that I carried with me. And until I discovered this image in me, I couldn't really understand why I had difficulty expressing negative emotions. The pathwork teaches us to become aware of and accept all of our feelings and not deny them, avoid them, or suppress them. And what I've learned is that emotions are fluid. They're like water. And if we give them space, we don't have to express them improperly, but if we give our emotions space, they will move through us and leave us. Pathwork has been embraced by people all around the world, and there's an international Pathwork Foundation which supports this whole international community of people interested in following the pathwork. There's a Pathwork website, that's pathwork.org, that provides free access to all of the lectures and support materials for anybody who's interested. And I would encourage you to take a look at that website and find a lecture that's of interest to you and give it a try, give it a read, see how it resonates with you. There are regional Pathwork centers across the country, and we have one of those regional centers here in Portland. It's called Northwest Pathwork and Core Energetics. These regional centers provide additional training and workshops for people who are interested in depth experience in pathwork. It's often helpful to have the support of another person who's walking on the spiritual path that you're on. And pathwork helpers are people that have been specifically trained in helping people using the principles of pathwork. I have personally received really immense guidance and support and value from my work with my own helpers over the last 18 years. And I'm now available to work with people individually at my office here in Portland, as well as on Zoom, wherever you are. Pathwork has been a huge blessing in my life, and it's full of surprises. You know, my experience of transformation is not at all what I expected it to be. I early on felt like, oh, the goal will be I'll be some extraordinary person with special insights and powers. And what I've discovered that is I'm really happy to be my ordinary self, really to be my authentic self. It's so refreshing, really. And, you know, my Pathwork helpers have been hugely supportive of me and really just, I find that I'm able to be with people in a new way. I can listen carefully and respond thoughtfully and just be present with people in a way that I never experienced before. And just that contact has a healing effect, has a really positive effect. I've experienced a new quality of quiet or stillness in my life that I can tap into. And with all the turbulence and challenges of our current day life, I'm able to get in touch with that stillness. And I attribute that to this Pathwork practice. Another thing is that I've become more comfortable with not knowing. I'm aware that we don't know the future. We don't know how things are going to unfold. Many times we don't know the best path of action until we're in it. So the not knowing part goes hand in hand with some increased trusting myself, trusting my own guidance and how to best proceed. And so far, at least, it's worked out really well. I'm frequently surprised to see what happens, often in really unexpected, wonderful ways. And I look forward to each day and just see what will unfold. I feel a kind of excitement about life that's new and really wonderful. So thank you for your interest in the Pathwork. It's been wonderful to have this time to talk about it, and I wish you very well in your path in whatever form that may take.